Or now.
Hey,
Trying to count this much.
tell them what's going on, Jim.
Hey, you know what's so crazy though? Motherfucker be sitting up there doing.
Detective told the judge that on that night Lil Durk and King Von hung out in a club, after which they went to the studio to make music. By dawn, they got into a feud with Alexander Weatherspoon, a person police claimed Lil Durk and Von knew Weatherspoon was shot in the thigh and reportedly had a gold chain, a car, and $30,000 stolen from him during the incident. On that day, a judge ruled that the court had found probable cause to charge Lil Durk and his co-defendant rapper King Von with 5 felony charges that include a criminal attempt to commit murder, aggravated assault, unlawful association with a criminal street gang to conduct, participate in the crime, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a felony and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. However, fortunately, in 2022 news reports captured that the charges against Lil Durk in connection to the 2019 shooting in front of the Varsity were dropped. Lil Durk's attorney released a statement in that regard, saying, while it took 3 years for the state to make the right decision, in the end the right decision was made, and Mr. Banks can finally put this event behind him. Unfortunately, but not shockingly, shooting a gun at someone was not Lil Durk's only wildest moment that was captured on camera while the Chicago native rapper was still grieving the demise of his friend and business partner King Von. He was performing at a show in the Netherlands, and something particularly crazy happened. In the most disrespectful turn of events, a fan, or better to say someone from the crowd, started to audibly diss King Von with the intention to provoke Lil Durk. Then this happened. Lil Durk notified his security about the guy and her cousin El Pap, according to news reports at 5:30 on a Friday evening, after a car which Quando Rondo and his cousin were passengers of filled up its tank at a mobile gas station when multiple cars pulled up and started letting out shots at the rapper's SUV, killing the rapper's cousin El Pap. Investigators later revealed that the fatal incident was an attempted murder of Quando Rondo, but unfortunately his brother took the bullets in a shocking turn of events. Very late in the investigation, investigators uncovered that the requested that the guy come on stage. As soon as the dude approached, Lil Durk appeared to be whispering something to the guy, as though trying to understand the dude's motive. Then, in a crazy turn of events, Lil Durk, alongside with his security, shoved and pushed the guy off the stage aggressively. After the incident, some fans were disgusted with Lil Durk's behavior, while some were solidly behind him for putting a disrespectful fan in his place. However, one thing was made clear: Lil Durk does not take any form of disrespect, especially if directed at his fallen friend King Von. This is true because one of the wildest Lil Durk's moments captured on camera was still regarding King Von. However, this time around the incident was connected to the death of King Von, which everyone on the street knew Lil Durk was deeply affected by. In a shocking turn of events, surveillance footage captured the moment Quando Rondo's camp was attacked on the street in broad daylight, killing his shooting, which was captured on camera, was ordered by Chicago rapper Lil Durk as retaliation for King Von's death. Recently, an affidavit filed in federal court based on testimony by FBI agent Sarah Corcoran states Lil Durk had placed a bounty on Quando Rondo's life, citing unnamed witnesses, and that flight tickets purchased to carry out the murder for hire were made with credit cards linked to Lil Durk and only the family. As soon as the news hit the internet, word on the street was Lil Durk was caught sliding for King Von. However, to be honest, this incident was not a surprising move to anyone who knows the connection between King Von and Lil Durk. Everyone knew Lil Durk was planning to slide for Von. The question was when a Reddit user stated Quando Rondo later said in an interview that he is aware that he is a target. In light of his connection to King Von's death, he noted that he is prepared to deal with the consequence that comes with that life. Well, apparently even Quando Rondo knew that Lil Durk was not going to let King Von's untimely death go without the ardor for hire plot connected to the death of Lil Po, Quando Rondo's cousin. I know that you are beginning to connect the dots, but hold on, let me explain something for you real quick. Lil Durk's arrest comes after federal prosecutors in California indicted 5 individuals believed to be members of Lil has been arrested by U.S. Marshals and held in Broward County Correctional Facility until he's extradited to California for his federal charge. His charge is murder for hire for the death of Quando Rondo's cousin LP. According to reports, Lil Durk was arrested by U.S. Marshals on Thursday and is currently being held in the Broward County Correctional Facility in Florida. Police records show the 32-year-old rapper is being detained without the option of bail and awaits extradition to California to face federal charges. His Durk's only the family OTF crew. The charges claimed these men arranged to travel across state lines to carry out the alleged attack against Quando Rondo's circle in 2022. Here is the gist. Federal agents swooped in and arrested 5 men in connection to the August 2022 shooting in Los Angeles that killed Quando Rondo's cousin and they're being charged with conspiracy to murder for hire, in retaliation for King Von's death. Apparently, as it turned out, it appears the feds have been looking for a substantial link connecting the big fish Lil Durk to the murder for hire charge labeled on his affiliate. Somehow the feds knew the crime was a continuation of the tragic events that unfolded in 2020 at the premises of Monaco Hookah in Atlanta, which led to the death of Lil Durk's bestie King Von. Now I think the feds need no informant to tell them that if it concerns King Von's death, Lil Durk definitely called the shots. I think the feds only needed someone to implicate him, providing substantial evidence of Lil Durk's involvement in the retaliation attack. Yes, we can say that OTF Jam is that person, and because Jam is a close circle affiliate of Lil Durk, there would be no limit to the range of information the feds have gathered from Jam's wiretapped body. It's no wonder as soon as the feds got what they wanted, Lil Durk was hit with the most devastating events of his career. Mugshot has been released. Here is the backstory. Lil Durk founded the label Only the Family OTF in 2010. He claims that OTF is not a gang after federal charges were filed against 5 men associated with OTF on October 17th, alleging they tried to kill Rondo in 2022 for his alleged involvement in the 2020 shooting death of rapper King Von. The men named in the suit are Kevon London, Grant Dondrea Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston, although Lil Durk was not named as a defendant in the October 17th suit. His arrest by federal agents has been confirmed to be connected to the murder for hire charge. The indictment charged 5 people for the murder of Lat, but it gets deeper than that. Check this out. The charges include conspiracy to murder for hire, committing murder for hire involving a death, and the use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in death. Interesting times are ahead because the indictment points to a well-coordinated plan involving alleged OT-elites who reportedly placed a bounty on Quando Rando instead. His cousin LPO was killed. Allegedly, members of OTF used a credit card linked to the record label to purchase plane tickets, enabling them to travel from Chicago to California. After learning Quando Rondo's location, now let's connect some dots. The 5 men named in the federal indictment are accused of carrying out the shooting as part of a larger scheme involving alleged OTF gang activity. The indictment suggests these men intended to retaliate against Quando Rondo, whom they reportedly believed to be connected to the tragic death of rapper King Von in 2020 and the complaint that was unsealed last Friday. Prosecutors established their case against Lil Durk and his label, accusing Only the Family of being not just a music organization, but also a hybrid organization that doubles as a criminal enterprise that has committed evil and vile things at the direction of Banks. Durk is referred to as Banks in the indictment. Prosecutors alleged that one of those criminal activities was the 2020 attempted murder of rapper Quando Rondo, allegedly plotted in retaliation for the 2020 the killing of rapper King Von, Lil Durk's friend. Interestingly, both the new charges and the previous indictment allege that the 5 men were behind the 2022 shooting that took Quando Rondo's cousin, but in the latest charges prosecutors directly accused Lil Durk of ordering the 2022 shooting, saying it was retaliation for a 2020 Atlanta shooting in which a Rondo associate allegedly shot and killed King Von. Prosecutors claimed that at the time of the murder TB had a public feud with Banks. The feud stemmed from a No. 6202020 murder wherein an associate of TB shot and killed an OTF rapper named Devon Bennett aka King Von. Bennett was a member of OTF and Banks' close friend. They added the latest filing also alleged that Lil Durk was planning to vacate the country when he was arrested. It was reported that following the arrest of 5 OTF members, prosecutors received notification that Lil Durk had secured commercial flights to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Switzerland. Unfortunately, he never boarded either. The FBI allegedly got information that Lil Durk booked passage on a private jet to Italy, where he was arrested just before hopping on the flight. It appears Only the Family is on the path to Rico again. In a not-so-shocking turn of events, the new filing appears to implicate OTF as an organization, according to the indictment. Co-conspirator 1 would place a bounty on individuals that co-conspirator 1 and other OTF members wanted to kill, including TB. Quando Rondo is referred to as TB. It proceeds to allege that as part of the bounty, co-conspirators known and unknown, including defendant Wilson, would pay anyone who took part in the killing of TB and or reward individuals with lucrative music opportunities with OTFO. No dude, Lil Durk is so cooked. I think Lil Durk is referenced in the indictment as co-conspirator 3. Check this out. Using a credit card associated with OTF, co-conspirator 3 would purchase airline tickets for the co-conspirators to fly to California and murder TB. Prosecutors say the same credit card was used to book hotel accommodations for the assassins, and the card was allegedly issued under a bank account that listed Durk's one-time manager as an owner. It was also reported that another credit card was issued under the same account to Lil Durk's father, But then how did the plan go? Well, according to the reports, it went south. The indictment confirms that defendant Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 would fire multiple shots at TB, killing SR, who was a passenger in TB's vehicle. If you have been following this gist, then you need no interpreter to tell you that SSR is Luape. Now, if you remember, after the attack on Quando Rondo's camp, killing El Pap, word on the street was someone snitched on Rondo's location. Hey, the street is never wrong, because according to the indictment over Act Number 2, on August 18, 2022, one or more conspirators, including co-conspirator 4, learned that TB was visiting California and staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. So the big question now is who snitched. But before you go beating yourself over that puzzle, let's look at how the indictment described the tragic events of the day. According to the feds, the killer squad, using 2 cars, including one without a registered license plate, worked in tandem to track, stalk, and attempt to murder TB at a gas station located in Los Angeles. During the attack, the conspirators allegedly fired at least 18 rounds at TB's vehicle, several of which hit and killed LP. After the deed was done, prosecutors reported that the killer squad later assembled at a restaurant where they scrambled payment for the attack and then made one last mistake at dawn. They allegedly used the same OTF link credit card to obtain flight tickets to Chicago. One more thing, take a look at how the indictment connected the crime to the 2020 murder of King Vao. Here it is. It says the charges mark the latest fallout from the high-profile killing of King Van. They connecting dots. What this means is that prosecutors have reasons to believe the case has deeper roots in a long-standing conflict. The altercation between Quando Rondo's crew and King Von in 2020 ended with Von's tragic death in Atlanta, fueling a wave of tension between Rondo's camp and Von's OTF associates. This newly revealed murder for hire plot is believed to be a continuation of the retaliation following Von's death. Here's the thing, when I was researching this case, I came across a comment from a user that was significant for its subtle observation. It's truly unfortunate that all this mess is happening because of an ego-filled fistfight that happened in 2020, and it's even pathetic to see that what is left of that unfortunate occurrence is nothing but a bowl of consequences that Durk might live with for the rest of his life. The evil twin Von and Durk L. Durk, legally known as Durk Derek Banks, was born on the 19th of October 1992 and grew up in the Inglewood neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. The area was notorious for its high crime rates and gang activity. Shaping much of Durk's early experiences, he faced numerous challenges growing up, including the incarceration of his father when he was just 7 months old. It was hardships like this that fueled his rise from the slums of Chicago to the top of the industry chain. His passion for music also gave him an escape from the harsh realities of his environment. On the other hand, King Vao, born Devon Decoyne Bennett on the 19th of August 1994, hails from the notorious U Block area of Chicago. U Block, named after a fallen member of the local gang, is one of the most dangerous hoods in the city. Just like Lil Durk, Von's upbringing was equally marked by violence and adversity. He lost several close friends to street violence and had multiple encounters with the law from a young age. Despite these challenges, V's charisma and storytelling distinguished him from his peers, giving him the spotlight of a local rapper. Durk, already an established figure in the Chicago rap scene, saw potential in the young and hungry Von. Durk took V under his wing, offering guidance and support as V navigated the complexities of the music industry. Their friendship, although rooted in music, was more about survival and loyalty. Both artists understood the importance of having someone they could trust in an environment where trust is scarce. This mutual understanding and respect laid the foundation for a friendship that would go on to impact their lives and careers in diverse ways. Take a look at what Lil Durk said about his friend V at the Breakfast Club. He got a whole story behind him. Know what I'm saying? He from Old Block, okay, you know I'm saying that's just speak for himself. Nah, but no, I'm saying he just real. No, I'm saying his music, just a real with him. I'm saying it's my brother twin. As their friendship deepened, Lil Durk signed King Vao to his label, Only the Family OTF, marking a significant milestone as the beginning of their professional collaboration. Shortly after King Von's debut mixtape Grandson, VA1, released in 2019, featured 2 tracks with Durk Crazy Story 2. Zero In and Twin In. The mixtape was a commercial success, and V's storytelling prowess quickly garnered a dedicated fan base and also cemented the connection between the twins. It wasn't long before V's name became synonymous with violence and retribution. One of the earliest incidents that cemented V's reputation was the killing of King Doc. A member of a rival gang was gunned down in a brutal attack that shocked the community. On April 28, 2012, a group of 4 men shot him as he walked into a convenience store after being shot. Doc stumbled into a patch of tall weeds where he lay undiscovered for hours before his 16-year-old cousin Mel McCry eventually found him dead. The killing of King Doc was just the beginning. King Vao became an active Twitter user starting in June 2012. He frequently tweeted about his street activities. Seemingly unconcerned about incriminating himself, V openly claimed to be drilling in the name of Ode Perry and compared himself and his best friend fellow all-block shooter Troy to Phineas and Ferb. He warned rivals not to disrespect them. Boasting about shooting people, as if it were nothing, he tweeted about drilling since he was young and even expressed a desire to kill cops. On August 7, 2012, V tweeted that homicide is in the air, and that it smells like a graveyard. In the early hours of the following morning, August 8, 2012, a group from O Block rumored to include King Vao and Troy was out looking for enemies. Dirty Raw, real name Tyrell Joshua, an older member affiliated with St. Lawrence Ert and Jarrow City, was back in town and ended up being shot dead. He was found on a sidewalk on the first block of East 56th Street in Washington Park just before 3:30 a.m. As King Von's reputation in the streets of Chicago grew darker, his alleged involvement in a series of brutal killings continued to fuel the legend of a man feared by many. The next chapter in this grim tale involves the tragic deaths of Model P5 and Lil James, each incident adding another layer to V's notoriety and solidifying his reputation as a serial killer. However, while King Vao was pacing to the ranks of the rapper with the most body counts, Death himself was pacing to the finish line on him, but he was too hot-tempered to realize the initial points of tension between King Von and Quando Rondo can be traced back to their affiliations. King Von's close association with Lil Durk and Quando Rondo's ties to NBA YoungBoy created an underlying rivalry. The tension between Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy camps was well known in the industry and seemed to spill over to their respective artists. The events of November 6, 2020 began like any other for King Von and his crew. They were at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, a popular spot for nightlife. Quando Rondo and his entourage were also present at the venue. The atmosphere was charged, and tensions were high, though no one could have predicted the tragic events that were about to unfold. As the night progressed, an argument broke out between the two groups. Surveillance footage captured the moment when King Vao approached Quando Rondo outside the nightclub without warning. Von threw the first punch, igniting a violent brawl between the two. Leaks an expensive watch, which many saw as a sign of loyalty and support. This further fueled the animosity between the two camps. Me and my twin, wrote Quando Rondo on Instagram stories, accompanying the caption with a photo of two newly purchased watches, one with black details and the other with blue. He tagged Lil Tim's Instagram account, indicating that the second luxury watch was a gift for the man accused of shooting King Von. Although at the time some people commended Lil Durk for not seeking to avenge King Von's death and continuing the chain of violence in the rap culture, little did they know that the rapper was moving underground like a green snake in green grass. Let's see where this recent development in the case takes us. If you love this video, then click the card showing on your screen for more videos like this.